Menton on the French Riviera is one of the most beautiful places I've ever stayed, with its pastel-coloured buildings, winding steps, bright shuttered homes, and turquoise water. I was here on my own for 1 week in mid-October, using this as a base to explore the Côte d'Azur, and I spent my first full day exploring Menton itself. The town is famous for its annual lemon festival each February, and the shops are full of lemony delights, from art prints to soap and tea towels to liqueur. Lemons truly are everywhere here. And look out for the citrus trees lining the streets, because you never know who's hiding up there. If you prefer to actually have a taste of lemons, you can't do better than the tarte au citron at Menton Bakery. It has quite a reputation, and I was eager to try it. They have a shop in the centre of town and also have a counter in the wonderful market. And I may have had repeat trips during my stay, and can highly recommend the tart and the delicious focaccia. As a solo traveller, I'm often quite happy grabbing some bakery bits, as it's a good way to enable me to keep on the move when sightseeing. But there are plenty of lovely restaurants here too, if you want a more leisurely lunch. But if you want to build up an appetite first, you could always have a swim at Plage des Sablettes. I took a dip late one afternoon, and the water is shallow and safe and was wonderfully warm in October. The sand is a little stony, so swim shoes are a good idea. There's a wonderful French-Italian feel about the architecture here, and I adored the candy colours of the buildings. You're very close to the Italian border, and you'll see that influence in the food too. If you cross the road from the beach, you can climb the famous steps, Les Rampes Saint-Michel. The upper part, built in 1753, is a historic monument, and the steps were extended to Quai Bonaparte in 1941. Once at the top, you'll see the Basilica of Saint-Michel and the Chapel of the White Penitents, both fine examples of Baroque architecture from the 17th century. It's a popular spot for pictures with glorious views both up and down. From here, you can just drift around the Backstreets. It's very easy to get lost here, but that's all part of the fun for me, because I don't think you can ever truly be lost if you have enough time. For me, that's one of the joys of solo travelling. And it was a bit like a choose-your-own-adventure novel here, deciding which way I should go next. The medieval backstreets make you feel as if you've stepped back in time, especially when you have the place virtually to yourself. If you prefer to have a direction in mind, the cemetery on the hill is a good place to aim for. As you climb higher, the narrow streets open into the light. And there was finally a single sign telling me I was indeed going the right way. The Cimetière du Vaux Château sits high above the town on the site of the old castle. And it's worth the climb for the views alone. It was wonderfully quiet, with not many tourists finding their way here, and I was fascinated by the range of monuments, most of them dating from the 19th and early 20th centuries. Here you'll find graves of Menton families, architects, historians, a botanist, and even the inventor of rugby, William Webb Ellis. Alas, some of the mausoleums need a little bit of love and attention. If you walk out of the cemetery, you'll come to the town's best viewpoint, where you can see right across the harbour and along the coast towards Italy. I was staying at Hotel Gabriel in a lovely street opposite Menton's Museum of Prehistory. And here's a very cheeky view of my hotel from the portico of the museum. This was a lovely little oasis, and I enjoyed quiet time on my balcony here. Just what a busy solo explorer needs at the end of each day. And it was just a 10-minute walk to the train station. I simply followed the railway line, so it made an excellent base for my trip. And it was very easy to get into town. And down to the seafront, where I enjoyed both morning and evening strolls. It's here that you'll find Le Bastion, a fortress built in 1636, home to the Jean Cocteau Museum. The building was redesigned by him in the 1950s to house his work. I had the loveliest week in Menton, exploring on my own. Although it's not the most central town for visiting the coastal cities of the French Riviera, I found it perfect for me with its safe small town feeling, its access to the beach, its market and shops, and peaceful vibe. It's definitely somewhere I can imagine returning to one day. If you'd like to find out more about my solo travels, do check out my new book, Introvert Explores.